Hello there in YouTube land, and especially hello to Ali Walker, who inspired this video. I was watching your video, and then I saw Falgar's as well. And basically, you're just getting into the Scream Factory stuff. Well, if you look behind me, you're going to see a lot of Scream Factory. So I'm kind of really into that company. Now, before I start showing you a couple of the ones that really piqued my interest when I first got it, I don't want to overlap with what Falgar said. And Falgar has some great choices. Now, as for like the ones that you mentioned that are coming out, well, first let's talk about Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead is very much a fairy tale-ish type thing. It's a revenge story. It stars Lance Henriksen, who's a classic horror actor, and has some great special effects by Stan Winston, who's the creature designer on this one. And Stan Winston, of course, did a lot of makeup and horror effects throughout the years. And the Pumpkinhead creature looks really, really cool. It's a revenge tale. It's kind of old fashioned, kind of like an urban legend type tale, and I think you'll like it. But one I really think you're going to like, and that's the one you mentioned first. That's Dolls. Dolls is one that I loved, that my son and my daughter have on the top of their list. Now, Dolls was a movie made by Charles Band back before he did the Puppet Master series, and it's got a coolness to it. It's got the basically these people get stuck in the out of nowhere, and they find this house, and in this house there's this couple, and they're doll makers, and they have all these dolls, and some of the people there are nice people, some of the people there are not nice people, and the not nice people have definitely got some not nice things that are going to happen to them. As for the nice people, well, you got to watch the movie and find out. Dolls has probably my favorite cover, aside from Ginger Snaps and though with that warning, which I don't have yet. But Dolls, yes, I would say number one on the list. If something that's coming out, if you're looking for, Dolls is going to be it. It's really fun. The teddy bear scene at the beginning is hilarious and terrifying at the same time, and it's just a really fun movie. Some pretty cool acting overall. I think it's Guy Rolfe in that one. It's one of the guys that played Andre Toulon, and I'm pretty sure it's Guy Rolfe as the doll maker. Love the movie, and choices from what I got. Well, I picked 4, and I didn't want to pick stuff that anybody else picked. I wanted to pick stuff that resonated with me, and I thought could be kind of fun for you. And first up, and I think this is probably one of my favorites, and it has the least features on it out of everything that I got, and that is Psycho 2. Why Psycho 2? Of course, it's the classic. The sequel to the original Psycho film, and it does a really good job. It's directed by Richard Franklin. Richard Franklin is an Australian director who was famous for doing movies like Patrick, and which kind of was a real trippy movie that he recently did a remake of. And he also did Road Games with Stacy Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis. But Psycho 2 is one I strongly recommend. It's a fantastic one. And if you like commentaries, this has a really, really good commentary on it with screenwriter Tom Holland. Tom Holland recently made a movie called Twisted Tales of Tom Holland. It was basically a web TV show that they've made into a movie. Stay clear of that. It's really, really bad. Next up is one that is on my list because I'm a huge fan of this one. But I'm not sure if you've seen this series or not, but Phantasm 2. Unfortunately, it's the only Phantasm movie that has come out from Scream Factory. The rest are Anchor Bay releases, but this has a lot of features on it, and this was probably the one that kind of made me fall in love with Scream Factory, because the Halloween ones, you're going to get set, you're going to have all the Halloween stuff anyway, but Phantasm was the first outside one that just had a really cool cover. It had like a bunch of features, and that's when I realized that the and more thing was actually really important, because there's way more features on this in this tier than you actually see listed on the box. And I'm a really big fan of the Phantasm films. It's kind of like dreamlike, the movies are almost like a nightmare come to life on celluloid. And they're really fun. They're really visual. The tall man is everybody's boogeyman type character. And it's a great place to start if you haven't seen these films. Don Coscarelli does a great job. It was him throughout the entire time as director and writer, making the entire series. And I love my better half's going to bed. And I just love this one. I love the cover. just starkness. And you notice that when I first started getting Scream Factories, I actually got the DVD copies because one, they were cheaper, and two, I just like the big box thing. I'm a slipcover freak. But the other two I got are Blu-rays. You can get these both in Blu-ray or DVD, by the way. They all have the same features in them. This one here is the DVD Blu-ray combo pack, and that's a collector's edition. It's one I highly recommend, and it is Sleepaway Camp. I love this movie. This is such a cool. You've got Terror Train, and you've got oh god, that other slasher one. So yeah, Sleepaway Camp. Definitely put that on the list. It's a really cool movie. It's a shocker of an ending. Don't watch the special features before you watch the film. If you've never seen Sleepaway Camp and you know anything about it, go in and watch the movie without knowing anything before you watch the feature stuff. It's a really trippy movie. Basically, you got these two. There's this accident happens at the beginning, and you go a little while later, and Angela is going to camp with her cousin Ricky, and murders start happening around Angela, and so Angela could be doing it, or somebody could be protecting Angela, or it could be something totally different. And by the end of the movie, you'll most definitely know the secret special twist. Sleepaway Camp. And last but not least, and I've narrowed this down to 4, even though there's a lot more I could have chosen, because when you're starting out, you don't want too many choices. But you want some good ones. And this is one of the greats. And it is Day of the Dead. Now, I could have said like They Live, which I know you got John Carpenter there, and which is a very fun movie, and it's got like action and stuff like that, and science fiction, and it's a good movie. But if you go for the horror stuff, then these choices are actually more horror than the John Carpenter, although They Live is a great choice. Someone else is going to recommend it though. It is Day of the Dead. It's got a great feature-length documentary on it as well. If you're like me, I love documentaries. I love special features on my films. And these have a lot. I got a good old Bud the zombie guy. Really cool. A lot of special features. A really great transfer. Love this edition. Collector's edition. And like his, all the same Scream Factory movies all have like the alternate covers. And I love the fact that they have it. Look, this is a really cool one. But one more thing. Some Scream Factories will can't decide what to give you with cover. So you get slipcover, get the original cover, and on the DVD or Blu-ray, you get a third cover that was used for the film in this one here, Phantasm. So 3 covers instead of 2, which is pretty cool. Phantasm's a favorite of mine, if you didn't notice that by now. Collector's edition. Does that look cool? Shiny ball. Ooh, it's evil. But those are my recommendations to you. One more time, and in no particular order, Phantasm 2. Actually, there's a short on this where this tall guy here, he plays Abraham Lincoln. Day of the Dead. My favorite in the Dead trilogy. Just really cool stuff. Love the way this was done, and I love the features. Got a lot of good features. Psycho 2. Psycho 2 or Psycho 3. Actually, I bought the pair of them for like, I think it was like $20 or $25 at the at HMV once, which is pretty cool. I think it's like 2 for $30 now. And these are good in DVD as well as Blu-ray. Like, if you're collecting just Blu-ray, fine. But sometimes if the features are the same or don't have a lot of features on them, it's just good to get them on DVD. There's no problems there. And Sleepaway Camp, which is probably my #1 pick right now. I love this one. I don't unfortunately have Ginger Snaps or Without Warning yet, or Nerd the Comet, which are ones that I'm sure Felligar mentioned a couple of those. But as for stuff that's coming out, the Halloween set, of course, if you can afford the dineros for that one. I pre-ordered that one on day 1, and definitely worth checking into. Halloween 2 and 3, when they were brought up by Scream Factory, were pretty much the gems of their collections. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's some box sets that I can mention to you, like the Vincent Price and stuff like that, but I don't want to overwhelm you with stuff right now. Those are the four I mentioned. Those two, Pumpkinhead and Dolls, are both great choices. Pumpkinhead 2 is a much cheesier film, not as dark as the original Pumpkinhead, and some people don't like it as much. So you might want to like look into the second Pumpkinhead, which is also coming up by Scream Factory, before you go and buy that one blind, because it's not the same type of film. I'm gonna buy it because I'm a completist. But my friend, who was a huge fan of the Pumpkinhead series, does not acknowledge that it has existence. But it's not that bad. Those are my choices. Dolls is my top choice for you. From the stuff you like, and from the cool stuff that's out there, Dolls is a great one coming out. Any of those there are great choices, depending on what you like. Hopefully I've steered you right, and some of those will help out. Have a great weekend, Allie. And for me right now, I gotta go get some tea, and then afterwards gotta put my Doctor Who review, because it started tonight, and I was really excited about that. For me right now, it's time for tea. Let us know what Scream Factories you pick up.